Hey guys, good evening. We have a new friend joining us today. Her name is Meera, and Meera is NLP trainer. She's a coach. She is coaching students. She's coaching kids, parents, whoever needs a lot of support, and she's pretty good in storytelling. And she is, part of this particular forum where a lot of discussion, a lot of engagement happens around storytelling. And she's created this community where people share their experience, people share the best practices in storytelling, and all of you know that storytelling is the way forward, not only for teachers, but also for leaders, managers, parents, everybody. This is the way forward, where storytelling is the way where you can clearly communicate on what you want to express in a way where people don't forget. So let's hear more about Meera, and how she started, and how Meera took this as a passion. She's worked in a corporate for a long time. Now she's driving her passion through training and other programs. We'll also hear about what NLP means. So over to you, Meera. Thanks a lot for joining in.
It's my pleasure, Ravi. Thank you very much for this opportunity. And I've been seeing you interviewing quite a few people, and it's a wonderful platform that you're giving for all of us, for that matter. About Meera. Okay, so stories are something which has always been part of everybody's life, for that matter, and it's a default in my case as well. So it started right from my first standard. I did it twice. So, right from scoring 1 out of 15 to 2 out of 15, or for that matter, when there were stories building up at that point of time in my life, where my father always used to, he still preserved those marks in his cupboard. This is my daughter's marks, and it's very precious. So once in my growing up phase, I asked him, it's 2 out of 15 and 0 out of 20. Why did you keep this so carefully? He said, no, this is precious. If it's 15 out of 15, it is there and it just goes with the wind. But this is something really precious. You can always laugh about it throughout your life. And that's I didn't realize there were a lot of stories building up. I did my graduation, then I got a job through campus. I worked with the organization in the HR and the recruitment space, and my journey went on for 15 years into HR, recruitment, employee engagement, training, everything in and around that organization, employees, and all the things. And I could see every time, there's something building up around me, which is most of the time stories. And I used to love writing right from the childhood. I just used to jot down in my diary. My dad used to say, whatever you feel, you could just put in a few words in your diary and you keep it. I wasn't so very serious at that point in time. And we have this platform, LinkedIn. So I used to blog quite a few experience over there, and I wrote about one particular old wine in a new bottle. This was a real-time experience which I had in the organization, and I wrote about it, and it had a great good amount of view, and people started appreciation is a normal human tendency. I mean, when somebody says, hey, you did good, it's really nice, you get excited about it. And I was also, that's a kind of a happiness which you get. I went about writing, I went about blogging, and the blogging to me, it was within that blogging wall. It wasn't a public thing. So I used to come back home, write something, and I used to feel good about it. Nothing around me changed, for that matter. Initially, I used to expect things to change around me, and that's when NLP happened in my life. So NLP, as you say, it is a neuro linguistic programming, and I was searching for about it. And when I speak to a couple of them, they said, "Where do you stand 5 years down the line?" I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm not asked this question even when I was a HR to any of my candidates." And where do I stand? Or what kind of an answer do I give myself? So that was, do I say eye-opening, Ravi? Not exactly. It was like, it was a stagnant phase. I didn't know. It was like I was earning good amount of money, and yes, good amount of saving, house, a vehicle for myself, a car, everything is there. But that question 5 years down the line, I was like, okay, might be I'm a manager or a senior manager. I will have around 15 to 20 of them reporting into me. I'll be handling this size of a recruitment and the training. His again, this question was, that's all? Nothing else apart from that? And I was like, I think that is good enough, right? Might be I should have some 30, 35 people I can manage, even 30, 35 employees as well. No, he said there's something beyond that. So a pause. Then he was suggesting, why don't you just understand what is NLP? So I enabled, like that email alert, and I never used to open that mail and see NLP. I was like, oh God, this is something like, out of syllabus. Let me keep it out of syllabus, out of the system, out of my mind. And one day I was like, okay, come, let's see what it is. And I was searching in the Google, and I came across my coach, Mr. Ramesh Prasad. Today, what I am today, I would say because of me, because everybody should feel that what we're doing is because of us. And he made me realize that. So we do model people. We do want to say thanks to a couple of them in our life, but that thanks is possible only when we make that initiation from our own side. So NLP gave me a good amount of understanding how to work with our own self, because as an HR or recruiter, it is just not about getting people, making them work in an organization. It's something which is always there in my mind. People used to push people to get that resumes selling, job selling, which was very difficult for me. I was not good at selling them the job. I was more into understanding their experience, come back and see what kind of a match I can get. And that's how, in the organization, they started giving me roles pertaining to process enhancement, customer experience, because they felt, okay, this is something which you're interested, we can do that. Then NLP gave me a good more understanding. Okay, there's something which I'm really passionate about. Might be like when I feel good about things or about my own self when I go and key in, what I feel about that particular day. And in FB, one of my friend, she tagged me for 100 days happiness. I was like, seriously, 100 days happiness? Okay, every day I'll just type, okay, happiness, happiness. That is exactly not your happiness, just a smiling, or you get a gift, or what do we say? You get something in the form of a monetary thing, but there's something beyond that when you say happiness. So, okay, she tagged me and I took that challenge, and I went about blogging for 100 days. And the 10th day, when I was actually amidst that challenge, my father was breathing his last seconds. And I spoke to him. I was telling him about gonna be writing a book, and it is in this particular genre. And there was a pin drop silence, because in the hospital it was just in the room it was just him and me. I mean, we both were there. And he paused for a while because he couldn't speak at that point in time, because he knew his reality in few seconds what is going to happen, or in a day or two. So he said, okay, maybe I'm not going to be there to see what you're going to be doing, but bring it to reality. What have you been thinking? This was the last word which he spoke to me, and he just held my hand, and that's it. After that, the story, father's story on this earth, it was over. And I not a single tears rolled down when I saw him dying in front of my eyes. Also, entire family was there. But there was always this thought in my mind. I mean, why should I cry? I mean, I don't feel like there's someone who's moved on, but still. And I didn't cry for 10 days, and I didn't, because there are a lot of rituals and things were happening at home. And that time I just opened my laptop to check my mails, and any work, so quite a few work pending for that matter. I had my colleagues were helping me out. I just opened my blog page and I just went about writing just the experience, a father, Appa, what was he karke. And initially I couldn't write, and then I just held myself. I went about typing, tuck, 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 tuck. And it went, I blogged for the first time. I was writing my experience for close to an hour, for 1 hour non-stop. And the tears were rolling, and that's when I realized, okay, this is a cathartic, this is something part of us. So, and then I continued on the 11th day journey, because I stopped at 10 days, wanted to complete the remaining 90 days, and I blocked for the remaining 90 days. When I gathered the entire experience, I felt it's a book. And that's how my first book, Mayaakatha, an illusion holding the reality within us, the book happened. And then the writing went on, and then quite a few things, like an initiative with regards to storytelling, and then a community with regards to writing, because I was part of a couple of writing community. And I felt when I share what is there in my mind in the paper or in the laptop or in the book, or for that matter, there's something, a part of me which flows out and gives a kind of a mind space to deal with other kind of challenges that keeps walking into us. So writing is something which is something like a part of me, I would say, which is like a healer to me. I would say it's a healer. And more about me. I worked for 15 years in the corporate. Then I took a break to be with my little one. Her naughtiness and that actually taught me quite a few things, like what is meant by stepping back and enjoying the moment the way they enjoy. Because uh, I mean, we all live in, most of the time, we live in a preconditioned society, like you have to do this and this time. This is the time. But that doesn't work with a child for that matter. Because but if I say, yeah, kind of a workaholic kind of a person, like I want to do some or the other thing next. The pause doesn't happen because to sit back and think, I might think what to do next. But at that moment, I don't just sit and relax and, like, okay, this is the time where I can take a break. I don't get it. But when I saw my daughter, in a relaxed way doing things, because that's how children are, they live in the moment, started garlanding that experiences in my blog. And the writing continued. So I have my daughter, her name is Maya, she's 5 years old. So the stories, like the stories connect, kind of build more with my daughter because every day it's like reading story to her. Even now I was just sharing this story to her. It's a wonderful story and she relates to this little child in this book, with her. So the stories keep happening. So that's a brief about me. Um, that's very simple. I don't know what else to add over here.
Good one.
So,
So, how did Coffee with Soul happen?
Coffee with
What's that
Soul.
about?
Okay, Coffee with Soul. When I was writing, it was a very soulful experience. Like I was telling, writing is like a healing. So a collection of poem, where I built it. That became my second book. That is Coffee with Soul, a poetry collection. Which is available on Amazon Kindle. So that's my daily morning experiences that I used to write. After waking up, like what it is like those experiences, what you observe, because most of the time we keep observing things around us. So when we sit back and start collating what we observe, it becomes a garland of words and either a poetry, prose, or story.
I wish I could write. I always have a lot of stories around, the experience I have, my choices or my thought process as to, why this is important and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm really bad at writing, honestly. So
I think you should just write whatever
just
you
write.
feel like, and one minute down the line you will really laugh about it and you will write more.
Yeah, but I really love the power of storytelling. Because even during lunch, me and my wife, we were like sitting and having lunch with the kids, and then we were talking about this movie of Nani which came in. It's called V. Okay,
Yes.
so we saw it yesterday night. Kids couldn't see it, and then we were like trying to describe, and we were not discouraging them because it's got a lot of violence, and we were not sure if the kids should watch. So we said, my wife started, describing the story and, small portions. And, after 5-10 minutes, we realized that we are not good at storytelling. And okay, guys, you guys watch it. And whenever there is, violence, you just forward it and just, see it, the movie, complete the movie, because I don't think so we can cover it. And they felt so interesting. They said, I think this is the better way of, hearing the story rather than watching the movie. You please continue, the curiosity build up. So yeah, I know we've all been born and brought up with stories all around us, and that is very important. Somebody
Exactly.
has to capture
Everything
it
is
and
a
pen it down.
story, Ravi. Everything is a story. Probably, this kind of a myth that I come across in a close circle or even in the social media, like initially when I started Mayaakatha group, it was a page. Then people started sharing the stories with me through WhatsApp and Messenger until they started telling you upload it, on our behalf. And I was like, it wouldn't be nice because as a page it goes everything on my name, and I wanted to create a group where a forum where people can add from their end. And there were a lot of homemakers. There were a lot of homemakers, they were telling, oh no, Meera, like I cannot go, I can't say stories. Then I asked, okay, what about their children? What is that they really like? Then they started sharing, in their own way. I went and they shared, like she used to share stories, and they enjoyed listening. I said, that's it. That's an art which all of us have, which is unique and special and different in everyone for that matter. So they have this preconceived thought in their mind. You need to be a professionally, yeah, I mean, there are quite a few people who are certified. It's good that you have it. But doesn't mean if you do not have one, you aren't a storyteller. You are still a storyteller. Because we all are born a product which we have the stories in our DNA. It's just there.
True. I completely agree with you. And yeah, we did have few guests who are like just awesome. I mean, we had Usha Chabra. I think she is a Hindi storyteller.
Yes.
She
Yes.
is just awesome. The way she moves from one character to another character. And we also had, I think, Deepa. She is
Deepa.
also Deepa Kiran.
Yes.
Is also
Yes.
just
Yes.
awesome. I just love following their storytelling. Though they're like small, just 5-10 minutes, they've got a lot of impact.
Okay.
Yeah, I do storytelling, but it's in pictures.
I'm
So
sorry I
take.
lost you.
Yeah, are you able to hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
I can now.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So I do storytelling, but it's like as a moment captured in an image, and most of the time I don't know what to write. Most of my posts on Facebook do not have titles. I don't know what to write. I just post it and let the friends understand.
So that actually connects to the way we perceive what do we say? Through NLP, this is something which I mean, many times we would have heard about it. There are some people, for example, Ravi, during in school days, I would like to say, there are some people who are very, very particular about seeing picturizing each and everything as when a teacher is teaching. And there were some people like me, for example, the backbenchers. Because of my height, but because of my naughtiness, yes, I was a backbencher, and I can't, owing to the height, I can't see, what the teacher's telling. Most of the time, it was all the auditory. So take that auditory, go back home, and picturize that, and so the way we perceive it comes out for that matter. So that's something if we could relate to, it helps in connecting with children also, because children are more visual at that young age. That's the reason you have these storybooks which are full of illustrations, colors. But when you see something like at the age of in the teenage time, if you go and give them some colorful rainbow kind of a book, say, what have you given it to me? Can you give me some storybooks, or can you give me some novels? So the perception varies on one stage.
So true. So which part of your passion you like? Storytelling to the kids, or to larger audience, or the training as a passion where you do NLP training and coaching the parents. So it's
So
just
it
more
is like
fun.
a thread which is across all the domains, or across all the, if I have to say, genre that you share. But the more lively, or the jumping around and kind of a thing is with children. It's a different thing, altogether a different thing for that matter. So a lot of happiness, in fact, that particular moment. Children is something I really enjoy doing it, but when it's in the corporate, that's another ball game. We try to bring in that childlike an atmosphere for some time to ease.
I get you. Okay, so Meera, we have some rapid fire questions for you so
Oh
that
yeah,
we get to know you well. So are you all set?
yes,
Okay.
yeah.
What is something people are always surprised to learn about you?
Which is something a surprise to a lot of me. Um, just something which I got to learn just last week through one of my friends. She keeps asking me, okay, this is something which you have done now. This is you have done. What next are you going to be doing? So something they say there's always some surprise element you come in with, because we've been traveling with you for 25 to 30 years, but still, when we see the next day, you come in with some more element. So there's always this search within me, to do something new the next, to learn something new. So that's what they get surprised with. Exactly, yeah.
And the most rewarding part of your career?
I'm sorry?
What is the most rewarding part of your career?
Rewarding part of my career. Most rewarding. Throughout my 15 years, I enjoy, but when I picked up this aspect about storytelling, NLP, and writing, this is more rewarding, I feel, that something which I really love doing and I'm doing it. It's rewarding. My corporate experience it has been rewarding in terms of monetary acknowledgement, certifications. Yes, all those are there. This little yearning, right? In the back of the mind, okay, if I do this, I'll be more happy. So that's something which I feel it now through stories and through writing.
If you could travel back in time for a decade, or which time period of your age would you like to go back?
Oh wow, this is a lovely question. Between 10 to 13. My parents had a tough time. Everybody used to say, my dad, money, can you please ask your daughter not to do this? It's not only her, she's taken the entire battalion along with her to the park and it's already 7 o'clock and they haven't returned home. So these were the kind of complaints which always used to fall. Yeah, extremely naughty.
So what do you do now for fun?
What do I do now for fun? Writing is fun, playing with my daughter. It just happens, Ravi. Like even when I'm talking to you now, I'm enjoying the connect with you. It's fun for me. It's good. So do I really go with one particular aspect to feel really happy about it? No, not exactly. So if I have to say honestly, I have 3 kids. My daughter, a Homo sapien, a dog, and a cat. So they 3 keep me on my toes the entire day. She's sleeping. That's the reason, I'm able to do this connect also. Else she might be sitting next to me by now with a dog and a cat.
So what is the biggest challenge you've taken in the last 1 year?
Biggest... setting up this community, because initially I was just running it on a timeline. And it's like now when I set a community, I have around 500 to 600 people, who actually wait for what next. So I really love that challenge. It's like I enjoy that challenge, like to do when the questions come in or to do something next. So that's, do I say challenge or it's fun? It's fun.
Okay. The worst piece of advice you've gotten? People said, yeah, Meera, you have so many people who will voluntarily, give you suggestions, आप पूछो ना पूछो वो आएगा. So
हाँ, ना पूछो बस ऐसे माला 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 डाल के एडवाइस देंगे. तो बहुत सारे एडवाइस मिले हैं, काफी मिले हैं. कौन सा एडवाइस को बोलूं मैं? हाँ, स्टॉप टेलिंग स्टोरीज मीरा. वो एक एडवाइस था. तो मैंने सोचा ठीक है, स्टोरीज, ओके, लेट मी कनेक्ट टू स्टोरीज. व्हाई डू यू थिंक आई शुडंट से स्टोरीज? लेट मी टेक स्टोरीज एज like let me give it back to you. That's the kind of a thought that I had. Quite a few.
Okay. Your next one is, what are you afraid of?
I'm sorry. The worst thing, when you said, many of them, they say stop telling stories. They tell that to children also. And that's where the flow gets cut. What they really want to come and share, they stop sharing. True. That would be the worst advice to anybody.
Okay, I agree. So what are you afraid of? So Meera किससे डरती है घर पे?
घर पे, my daughter.
See, that's coming back. Your 10 to 13 years is coming back. Everything comes back. It's just time. So
exactly. Ravi, handling around 40 to 50 employees, sometimes I feel it was like, wow, when I'm 1 million. It's like, she'll be running behind the cat. And she'll be running behind the dog. The dog will be running behind the cat. So I'll be running behind these 3.
Oh my God, should be fun.
So that's it. It is.
Yeah, you should have cameras around your home to capture these moments, because you.
Oh, I have quite a few. They have captured me.
Oh my God.
Because behind me, my family, they might be capturing the way I'm running behind them to try to hold them. Yeah, I think I do have.
So, tell one thing which is long pending in your bucket list.
Long pending in my bucket list, yes. So, So there's something, like working with children is something. Do I say it's really fun, or I would say that's something which is part of me. I would love doing it, and I am equipping myself, with quite a few. It's not exactly the course or something to work with children, being there for a cause, enabling them in their journey. So, because I've seen quite a few schools and institutions, how it works over there. So I have my own thoughts, maybe because of the storytelling thoughts in my mind. So that's a long pending thing which I'm working. I'm creating a module which will be, like involving NLP, mental-based psychology, in the kind of an experience that I've, traveled with till now. Putting all that together and give a small outcome.
Nice.
That's something there in my mind. Yeah, I'm working towards that. On that.
Anything that got added during pandemic to this bucket list?
Yeah, what you mean to say to-do list
Yeah.
or okay, to run away. Yeah. So that's a
Yeah, a lot of people basically quit corporate life because it's like a rat race. But you're still continuing it. You're running the race. It's just the rat is missing. So there is a cat, there is a dog, there
I always
is.
wanted to run away, Ravi, but something that never happened. So I was like, okay, in this lockdown, I was like, okay, it's been like back to back doing this, that, this. Okay, for a day, just run away and then come back. It's okay.
So
That's
where will Meera run away? If she is running away, where would she go?
okay. A secret place, coconut tree. As of now, my
Kerala.
daughter is not climbing the coconut tree. Nobody is climbing the coconut tree. So you might find me the coconut tree there.
Oh, climb the coconut
backyard.
tree and be there. Okay, so
Yes, in the backyard.
okay, so yeah, a tree house, a small tree house made on a coconut tree
Yes.
is the destination.
Yeah. Simple destination. Don't have to spend too much also. Be there, come down for a coffee, lunch, breakfast, again go back. That's it.
Now I know why coconut trees are ulta. Yeah, I was always thinking is you ulta kyun? Okay, so how are you with food? So are you a foodie? What are your choices? What is the worst thing, best things you've eaten so far?
Um, First and foremost, food. Food, food, food. I love food. So worst, I don't know, Ravi. I've not been so very finicky about the food. जो मिलता मैं खा लेती हूँ. Like whether it's a curd rice or it's a noodles or anything, जो भी बनाती हूँ, बैठ के आराम से अच्छी तरह खा लेती हूँ. So while cooking also, half goes inside, the coffee goes, tea goes. So food wise, just enjoy the food. Yeah, thankful that खाना हमेशा मिलता है.
So what is Meera's style of having morning tea or coffee? Because you spoke about coffee with soul, right? So
Filter coffee.
yeah, Shan said Meera coffee peeti hai. So what's her style? Where do you sit? What do you do?
Sorry, I lost you in between.
So what is Meera's style of having coffee in the morning or in the evening?
Okay. Along with the work, a sip of coffee goes, like one by one. It'll be really hot. By the time I finish it, it'll be a cold coffee.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I hide and have my coffee because my daughter, she'll find me out and she'll take my cup of coffee and she'll run away. She loves coffee too. So I usually hide from her and have my coffee. Even now, before this connect, I locked my room, I had my coffee, and then I connected with you.
So what are the memorable moments from your childhood apart from that 10 to 13-year-old
Yeah.
story?
Yeah.
What else do you remember a lot where you've done something which is close to your heart?
Close to my heart. Got caught by the neighbors in my native because I have this habit of jumping the compound walls, the terrace, and there was a guava tree in my neighbor's place. So every year, native, I used to go my grandma's place and enjoy them. So very, very, they used to say, they never used to believe that I eat a lot. They never used to believe it. Looking at my frame of my body, they always used to feel this is a malnourished child and the parents don't take care of her at all. So I jumped the compound wall. It was not only me. I took around 5 of them along with me,
Oh my God.
who were really scared, of crossing, of crossing even from this room to another room within the house. I took all the 5 of them along with me, climbed up the terrace, and that didn't have the wall also. I held them, jumped to the next compound wall, and to the third house. There was a guava tree, plucked the guava tree. I mean, the gavas, we all of them had. But the thing is, while returning, I knocked the door instead of coming back through the same path. That's when I got caught. Yeah.
So what was the intention? Knocking the door and say that, oh, this is the count I've got today, so tomorrow I'll be back.
Yeah, might be that was there in my mind. But after finishing, I was like, why again travel the same way? Because these were really scared to, come outside the house, and now I have to again take them back in a reverse journey. Like I have to climb the compound wall, take them along, and put them back and go to the house. It's really difficult. So I was like, I knocked the door. I said, Auntie, I had to go. It's really nice. I want to go home. Can you open the door?
Good.
And she's the kind of a person who really gets angry, like within, just like this. But she was like, she just looked at me, Meera, and she just gave me a hug and she gave me 2 more govas. I was like, God, I didn't know this, else I would have knocked the door and come every day. So I've done these kind of things quite a bit. That is just one of.
So with this experience, what would you do if you become the chief minister? What are the areas you would focus on as Meera?
Okay, that's a great opportunity a citizen can get for that matter. Um, Working with children, women, that's something that portfolio is something which always been there in my mind. When it comes working for a cause, like I'm so sorry about this. There was a power cut.
Yeah. Same here. So you can also see me with limited life.
Just a second. I have my.
Yeah. So we'll manage today with mobile.
Yes,
Yes.
this works.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Or thoda smile, that works. Flashlight and smile.
Yeah. Sorry about this, Ravi. This was
Hey,
least
no problem.
expected, though we have a power back. Okay. So, yeah, I was talking about the portfolio working with women and children. So, education is something which I always think about. It's not about only incorporating storytelling in the syllabus. It's about, the concept-based one, because most of the time, all the things have been always pegged to the marks. And still, there are quite a few institutions who speak about they don't go through marks mode of the categorizing. There's something which is there still, and that is one. And second thing is, after 10th, when children are asked what group are you going to be taking, there are quite a few regions and quite a few places where they label it as first group, second group, and third group. And someone who takes a third group are like, okay, you got only so much percentage, and maybe you should look at only third group. And someone who really got 90% and takes up the third group, which they label it as like arts or for the creativity one. That's something which I would say we need to have an even surface. It's definitely important that we need to have a doctor, we need to have an artist, we need to have an engineer across. But we cannot compare each other's work, and it's like a fish can be a fish in a pond. And we can't what to say we can't weigh their potential if they are on a land, for that matter. So the concept-based education, and then after the 10th, we should allow the child to take up what they like to say, because I've seen quite a few people after they've been forced to take BE, and after that they're forced to do MBA, and then they can take up a corporate job, and then they love writing, and they come back to the creativity, creative space, for that matter. So choosing of subjects what they like to is something which we need to enable as a parents, and I would really focus on these areas: the marks, the grade, the concept-based education, and after the 10th, the question which always is there around.
Yeah, I can relate this because my elder one just went through this particular phase of a
Okay.
confusion where he has to choose options. So
Either they're forced to take a course because of the parents, or second, due to neighbors, or because of the institution.
true. Good one.
Yeah.
Good one, Meera.
Yeah.
I think that needs a lot of focus, and let's hope these reforms which are happening this year in the education
Yeah.
system will bring
Yeah, we do
some change.
see some changes. Let's hope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm sure this COVID also has taught us a lot in terms of online
Quite a
learning,
bit.
and parents are also
Yeah.
now okay with whatever is less stressful for the kid, less risky, and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good. Nice connecting with you, Meera. So
Pleasure
sorry,
was mine.
after the power went off, I've been very distracted, and I can only focus on the diamonds on your ears.
Oh,
So,
yeah. You can still. Yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, lovely soul. We need people like you to coach, mentor, train, and get to the next level. It is tough to leave the corporate life and then do some of these things out of passion and also make a living out of it. But yeah, I agree with you. It is fun, and
Yeah.
storytelling is fun, and it is more fulfilling, and we need it. I mean, I'm sure we would have missed Meera if you were still in the corporate, and some of these things wouldn't have come out in terms of your books, stories, or motivating others to live their life, the meaning of happiness. All these
Yeah.
are very important nowadays. I think through pandemic we've learned the importance of life,
Yeah.
health,
Yeah.
family. So thank you. Thanks a lot for joining in. And friends, do
Thank
connect with
you.
Meera. I've seen a couple of contents, but most of the time it was like you're also encouraging a lot of community people, talk about it and participate. So
Yeah.
yeah, if you're somebody who likes storytelling or still wondering how to do storytelling, she is the one to connect. And if you like writing, you're an author, or want to do like I want to do somewhere learn writing, at least have somebody who's a ghost writer for me to write all the stories I had. So Meera shared one of her naughty story, but I have many. So
Yeah.
I need help from somebody who can do that. But yeah, do connect with her. We'll share all the social handles where she's available. So thank you, Meera, again for joining in. And yeah, guys, so sorry. We both had this coincidence of having power cuts simultaneously at the same time.
Thank you, Ravi. Thank you very much. You've been doing a fabulous job, and it's a great platform and opportunity for people to share their journey because people love to share, and you've given that as an opportunity and as a platform. Best wishes to you, Work TV, and your entire team who've been involved in getting things rolling. So, my wishes to you and your team. Best wishes always.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Meera. So we should meet up sometime. All I think once the pandemic is over, at least people, like-minded people, the similar community should meet up and then party.
Would love to meet you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Meera. Thank you,
Yeah.
friends. Have a great evening.